What is going on, everyone? I'm Ducky, and today I'm joined once again by Temporal Enigma to run down his views on the new giant trailer from Black Ops 3 Zombies that we saw at the San Diego Comic-Con world reveal for Black Ops 3 Zombies. And first of all, it was a trailer that didn't actually focus on gameplay like Shadows of Evil. It was more kind of on the story, because we already know what Deriz is like, obviously. But of course, this was more about the story. And run down your thoughts on the story and how it's going to play out and it progressed through the trailer. What do you think it all means?
Okay, viewers, bear with me because this is going to be a doozy. All right, let's travel back in time a bit to Origins. And this is half based off a comment that one of our subscribers wrote on the video about the leak of this trailer. So originally what happened, actually let's travel back to Moon. Let's start there. Samantha's mind gets switched with Richtofen, and subsequently Samantha, her brain is sent to the ether. Roll forward in time, or back in time, to Origins. Origins is both the beginning and the end of the zombie storyline, at least so far. Samantha is sent to the ether and tries to contact Maxis. Now, this is decades before she's born, and Maxis doesn't know who she is. You know, he doesn't know that she's his daughter. He doesn't understand what she's trying to tell him, and because she's only like 6 years old, she doesn't really know how to explain to him what's happened. Maxis starts going crazy and probably tries to kill himself or something. Richtofen tries to save his mind by putting it into the jar, all that stuff. Richtofen is not evil yet. He just is who he is. Samantha then leads the four of them through the steps of the Easter egg to send them into the ether. At the very end of the Origins Easter egg, you are ascended up into the hole in the sky, basically. Game over. Let's now fast forward to the giant trailer, or rather the intro cinematic. You hear talking, and Richtofen says, "Goodbye, Dr. Maxis," and time stops. This is where Richtofen from World War II, ahead of Richtofen from Origins, later down the timeline. Yet, before he's met himself. It's kind of confusing, because technically at this point, he hasn't switched minds with Samantha, so Samantha hasn't gone back in time to talk to him. So this Richtofen doesn't know about the events of Origins. He has killed, in a sense, Dr. Maxis. He has sent him through the teleporter, and we don't know, or the MPD I think it's called, and we don't know where he is. Richtofen's laughing, he's all happy with himself. Then the three characters, Takio, Nikolai, and Dempsey, come out of nowhere, and they start yelling at Richtofen.
The Origins versions.
Yes, and they all look like they did coming straight out of Origins. They look younger, they look smarter, they're not, you know, Nikolai isn't complaining about vodka. And they're talking to Richtofen, you know, don't do it, you know, stop what you're doing right now. Richtofen then replies with, "Do you know who I am?" He doesn't know who they are. They say, "Yeah, we do." So the three characters know who Richtofen is. Richtofen doesn't know who they are. You then hear the zombies start to come. So, you know, Nikolai and Dempsey break off to go, you know, secure the perimeter or whatnot. As Takio tries to say, you don't know the evil you're about to unleash. You know, blah, blah, blah. You know, Richtofen's talking about some greater purpose. I don't know, whatever. Babbling on. Nikolai says you must awaken the test subjects. I think Nikolai said that. The only test subjects we know of at this point are the three characters and some unknown Mexican who we've never seen before. Some, you know, storyline stuff. So my thought is that they are from the future, or the past rather, coming to here to try to get themselves awake and try to, you know, tell the whole storyline of what's happening. Richtofen instead opens up the teleporter that he sent Maxis through. Out of there comes himself, but from Origins. All serious, straight face, he kills Richtofen. Past Origins Richtofen kills the giant Richtofen. He, you know, Dempsey yells at Richtofen. Richtofen then responds to Dempsey with his name. He says, "I do what I do, Dempsey, to secure a new, better tomorrow." My thought is Samantha in Origins sent those 4 characters back to stop the events of what happened from happening. They arrived a little bit too late to stop Maxis being sent through the MPD, but the 3 characters arrived to try to stop Richtofen. Somehow, Richtofen ended up in the MPD. I don't know if there was a specific reason or just a teleportation through time and space mistake. So when Richtofen opens it, he sees himself and is really happy, like, "Oh my god, look at what I've created." And then he kills himself to try to stop it. Whether we're going to see the 4 characters or the 3 characters from the original series in there, not the Origins versions, but the, you know, Black Ops versions, in the map, I'm not sure. My guess is, we do know it's a remake of Doris, but my guess is it's going to be gameplay-wise the same, but the radios, maybe an Easter egg, all that stuff is going to be to the new story, not the old story. And that's my thought.
So you think all the gameplay features will be the same, so the perks will be in the same locations and we'll have the teleporters, the same sort of mechanics. However, rather than just the fly trap Easter egg that we had in Doris, which didn't really mean much, we will actually have something that takes us further on with the story. It doesn't explain the events of Doris anymore, but it takes us further on with the story.
Yes. Maybe we won't have a full-fledged Easter egg. Maybe we might have little things. But Doris had a huge amount of radios. It's where we learn the first storyline, basically. So I'm thinking all those radios will be, at the very least, the radios will be replaced with new things to kind of piece together what's going on that they may or may not continue with DLC packs 1 through 4.
So we have already seen a remake of Doris. Of course, we got it originally in World at War DLC 3. We then got it as a remake in Black Ops DLC 4. This was with all the original World at War maps. And this came with all the standard wall weapons that were in the map originally. However, the box weapons were replaced with the weapons from Black Ops. What do you think is actually going to happen in terms of weapons within this map? Do you think we will have all Black Ops 3 weapons or some from the original map, even classic things that people have been asking for back, such as the Wunderwaffe or the PPSH?
I think wall weapons will be pretty much the same. In every remake, they keep the wall weapons the same. I think that they might throw some special guns in the box, similar to how we always see 1 or 2 special guns in every map. You know, Buried had the Colt revolver. Why can't I remember the name of it? Instead of
a new model army.
Yeah, that one. Thank you. Instead of the Python, you know, small things. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the PPSH replace one of the submachine guns, or even be in there with a submachine gun in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like the FG-42 on the wall, you know, stuff like that. I'm pretty sure the Wunderwaffe will make a comeback. Bouncing Bettys will probably still be on the wall, you know, stuff like that. They might have a new skin, but essentially the gun would be the same.
Do you think we will see any new perks within this map as well, or do you think it will be pretty much the same?
It's a bonus map, so I'm trying to compare it, at least elements-wise, to Nuketown, where they didn't really include... I mean, they included some new mechanics in Nuketown, like the falling perks and stuff like that, but nothing along the lines of, like, new perks or new extraordinary gameplay mechanics. I'm thinking this one, with what we've seen with the storyline, will have some additions to the storyline in it, but nothing along the lines of new perks, new gameplay mechanics that are going to hugely affect the story, the rest of the maps. Maybe like a specific mechanic, but nothing along the lines of some new perk or some new drops or anything like that.
Within the trailer, we saw Takeo unsheathing this samurai sword that we've seen him have in the Origins trailer, And then people said, hold on, hang on a second, why, or the Origins opening cutscene, sorry, why aren't we able to use this in-game? Because this would be awesome. We've had it in custom zombie maps. We like its form in there. If Treyarch made it, it would be awesome. And of course, when this footage was leaked from the Comic-Con, we actually saw when he unsheathed this sword, everybody kind of wailing within the crowd. Do you think that this sword will be playable within the map?
I don't think so. At the very least, a special melee. I could see, I could see three things with it. One, Takeo using it instead of a knife, but it having no more power than a knife. You know, just kind of an aesthetical thing. Like getting the sickle versus the Bowie knife. They both do the same thing, they just look different. I could see it maybe as a wonder weapon, although I don't know how they'd balance it. I could see it as some way to upgrade your melee, similar to the Golden Spork or the Super Death Punch thing from Origins. But then why would Dempsey be using it if you were playing as Dempsey instead of Takeo? I don't see him actually using it as a weapon, just because it's a sword. I mean, you cut someone in half with it. You know, it's like, there's no balance there. So, I mean, maybe, but I don't think so.
And the Blundell was behind Origins, or he took the lead on Origins, and the fan feedback on that was they loved the fact that there was always something to do at later rounds. And of course, me and you have talked about this a lot in the past. However, in Origins, like, we had loads and loads to do, soul chests, upgrading staffs and all of that, all Easter eggy things. However, if we look back to World at War when they made Deriz, none of that was about, and all it literally was work, just work for your perks, pack a punch, and then just run a train or camp or whatever. Do you think they will add in anything new to kind of give you more to do at later rounds?
See, at this point, I think, especially with a remake such as Deriz, I think they're digging themselves a hole. Because if they don't change anything, they're going to get backlash from the fact that, well, now it's just Deriz, I'm just running in a circle. If they change some stuff, they're going to get backlash, oh, the old Deriz was better. So, I don't think they might add some small stuff, like if there is a way to get Takeo's sword, they might add a way to get that. But I don't think there's going to be anything too life-changing as far as the map, because they want to keep the spirit of the map the same. But you never know. Like I said, I think they're kind of screwed from fans either way, because, video game fans never really know what they want until they don't have it. So I guess we'll just have to see. I really don't think they'll change anything, though. Nothing drastic, anyway.
Okay, Nigma, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for sharing your opinions on the giant bonus zombie map we're getting in Black Ops 3. And of course, it is only a bonus map that's kind of this nostalgic feel to kind of give the better, like, zombies experience to players. And it's not extremely going to be anything massive. However, do you see, as a final question, the storyline progressing any further after this map? Or do you think this will kind of be the full stop to kind of explain Origins and just end it completely?
Well, in theory, if they complete their goal, if I'm correct, or at least somewhat correct, and they complete their goal, then the rest of the storyline won't have happened, and there'll be no point to any of this. Or no point for them to continue the storyline. My guess is they're not gonna, so they're gonna, keep going with it. At this point, as long as the storyline makes sense, and they can kind of wrap it up and make it all make sense, I don't really care if they go on. If they're just kind of going on because people want to see these four characters who, I have to be honest, I don't care that much about. I mean, they're cool and all, but I didn't care when they didn't appear in Black Ops 2. Then I will kind of be mad about that.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing your opinions once again, and I'll see you all next time.